peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman. We have another update in the Nolan Wells. Now they're calling it a murder mystery. I find that interesting. We don't know if Nolan was murdered, but it is a mystery and as it relates to what has happened to him. But for the past couple of days, I've been binge watching Officer Brandon Tatum. Shout out to Brandon Tatum and the amazing journalistic work that he is doing as it relates to interviewing a few of Nolan's friends to get their perspective of what happened on that day, July 4th, 2026. Today, what we're going to do, however, is bring you guys up to speed because it's interesting that nobody on the pro wokety woke blackety black side was really interested in hearing from these young men, but they were quite having they had a vested interest in besmirching their character and maligning them and trying to paint them in a negative light. There's been so much racism and bigotry and Mississippi hatred and white supremacy that has clouded the public investigation regarding this case that has been quite disgusting. In a previous video, I highlighted that this was a part of the Democratic 2024 election interference strategy. And I believe that my initial assertion regarding that is going to prove to be true. So what I first want to do is I want you guys to listen to Brandon Tatum demonstrate, like, listen, I've interviewed these young men and now I want to give Ben Crump an opportunity to be interviewed by me so that he can be cross-examined and that we can just have an open and honest and publicly transparent discussion regarding this incident. But you're going to find that Ben Crump isn't interested in having a discussion, and Officer Tatum here is going to prove it. Take a listen to this clip.
Benjamin Crump. For everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cares about Nolan Wells' family, I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, that they didn't respond to us or they made some lame response after our fourth attempt to talk to him? Here's the email. This is the first time we reached out to Benjamin Crump. You can look at the email there, and you know exactly that we reached out to his team. We gave a generic media outreach where we put the information in there and say, hey, we would love to have an open dialogue. We value the conversation. Here's something that we want to know from his perspective what he has, and we wanted to deliver what we have to him. All right, we did that the first time. Here's the second time.
5 days later.
5 days later, here's the next one. What was that, a day after that?
Yep.
And then here's the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one is 5:30 in the morning, and it's basically saying, hey, that's still... You go to the next one? Yeah, this is the first response I received, which is basically... Or no, this is the final response, where they basically say...
Yeah, so the final response said, thank you for reaching out, interest in speaking with Benjamin Crump, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, we reached out to Benjamin Crump. We reached out to talk to Benjamin Crump. We didn't reach out to talk to the family. We only wanted to talk to Benjamin Crump. Put the thing back up there. And so as you can see on there, it says, at this time, the family is taking a break from media engagement as they continue to grieve and spend time together. Why are you talking about the family? I know they're taking a break. Benjamin Crump should be taking a break. He's the attorney.
Correct.
We only wanted to talk to him. They acknowledge the fact that you reached out and interested in speaking with attorney Benjamin Crump, but says that the family is taking the time apart. It's a lame excuse for them not to engage with us. And people are running their mouth about whether or not they want to know the truth or not. We reached out to them plenty of times.
So here's the reason I showed this clip is because a few videos back, I did a video that demonstrated that the liberal left, that Black liberals are the most racist demographic in this country by far. I got a lot of heat for that on Facebook, and I'll just reiterate it again in case you didn't hear me the first time. But the reason why I say that is because of situations like this. So Brandon Tatum's team reaches out to Benjamin Crump, not once, not twice, but probably 4 times that we are made aware of. And this is a very warm and friendly and inviting email that says, listen, we value respectful conversations. We welcome dialogue, and we just want to talk to you. Notice how he doesn't say, hey, we want to interview Christine Wells, Wansley, or whatever her name is. We want to interview the Pappy. No, no, no. We want to interview you. Since you're the subject matter expert and the representative for the family, we want to interview you, Benjamin Crump. Now, Benjamin Crump doesn't have a problem getting his or placing his thick-tongued, inarticulate self in front of a camera anytime the opportunity presents itself. But I noticed that he is very particular. He's very discriminating against which microphones and which cameras he's willing to show up in front of. And it's only the ones, I wrote it down while I was listening to Officer Tatum. He's only interested in outlets that are going to allow him to spew his victimization unchallenged. He has to promote a victim narrative. And then he's only interested in outlets that allow narrative curation, meaning he's not going to be challenged on all of the inaccuracies that he puts out on the internet. He's not going to be challenged as to why you keep invoking race and hatred and white supremacy and the ghosts of Mississippi past. Why aren't you just focused on the facts? And why are you overemphasizing several inconclusive findings from the autopsy report that the medical examiner that you retained clearly indicated that, look, we don't know where this is from. It's still inconclusive, pending further investigation. So they decline. So the response that you see from the Ben Crump team is a smokescreen. It's a gaslight. It's a misdirect. Oh, the family is taking time to be together and they're not doing any media appearances. I'm like, well, they were full of media appearances days after Nolan Wells was found and determined to be deceased. They had no problem hopping on a plane and going up to New York for Good Day America. They had no problem going up to Chicago to demonstrate and show solidarity for justice for Nolan at the NAACP convention. But now, all of a sudden, they are worn, they are weary, they are unable to do media appearances, even though nobody asked. Nobody asked to interview the family. We are respectful of their space and their grieving. But you, Ben Crump, you are not grieving. Okay? Now, you have spent a whole lot of time out here race baiting, right? Along with your pulpit pimp, preacher man, Al Sharpton with the ultra perm. But outside of that, this email response is not really a response to what the request was. Officer Tatum wants to talk to you, but you see, Ben Crump don't want to talk to Officer Tatum because he will be exposed for the race baiting, race hustler that he is. We already know that they have used and exploited this young man's death for political gain and for civil rights to keep the ghost of racism alive and well. They also know that Officer Tatum has interviewed several of Nolan Wells' friends, and they are not willing to deal with the information that has come out in those interviews. They do not have an answer or a response. Now what I want to do, I want to show you this other clip. Do you remember in the beginning of the video where I said that the pro-wokety woke blackity black crowd, the bliggities, how they are the most racist demographic in this country by far, and they don't even hide it? Yeah, now I want you to take a look at this clip that further proves my point that the black liberal is the most racist demographic in this country. Take a listen.
For everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cares about Nolan Wells' family, I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, times you said it, y'all be able to see it before we put it out. Absolutely. You'll be able to see it. And that's exactly what we did. We did the interview. We talked to the other boys, but they didn't want to go on camera, which for obvious reasons, because of stuff like this. Let's put it out there of the kind of hate I'm getting for just interviewing. Roll the clip.
Here's my message to some of you ignorant, melanated people that's in my comment section and in my messenger, talking about I hate my people, I hate my race, and you want me to take up for people that's wrong just because they black.
If Harriet Tubman was alive today, she would blow your brains out without any hesitation. Your brain matter will be all over the ground. No bullshit. Like,
Time out. That's him dog whistling or trying to allude to the fact that he wants me dead. He thinks somebody should kill me because in 2026, what Harriet Tubman and them sacrificed for us to have freedoms and for us to get along with each other, I expressed that, and he think I should be killed. Harriet Tubman would have killed me for being fair to people and not basing stuff based on race. Let it go.
you made $20 million since 2017.
I made $20 million.
Since 2017.
2017.
And never holding white people accountable. And then you're wondering why people are in your inbox saying the things they're saying to you. You
Threatening
did
my life?
cried real tears when a Nazi got his neck blown off.
Whoa.
Charlie's a Nazi.
A Nazi.
Nazi.
A Nazi. When a racist white person checks you, you do nothing, you say nothing. But when a black person says something you don't like, and I've seen an interview, you was willing to throw hands with them, but called black people violent. Make that make sense. So you know what? As a black man, I'm gonna show you how violent we really can get, right? You know what I hope happens to you? I hope a group of racist, conservative, flag waving, loving white people string you up on the biggest tree they could find. I hope they get the biggest pickup truck with the strongest chain, wrap it about your ankles, drive 30, 40 miles per hour on the dirtiest, rockiest road possible, and have your skin shredded to the white meat. That is what I hope happens to you. Genuinely, that is what I hope happens to you.
Wow.
You hope I get tortured and killed
Drug behind a car.
like my ancestors, some of my ancestors, because I interviewed one kid, two kids, one black and one white.
Right.
Just interviewed. I didn't speak for them. I let them say what they had to say. I asked them the questions that y'all had and the accusations against them, and I let them talk on a podcast, and now I'm supposed to get drugged and killed and hanged from a tree by racist white people. Make your mind up, bruh. I'm chucking and jiving for the white man because I want to be white and all this, but then the same people gonna kill me for no reason.
Listen, I showed that clip to further prove my point that black liberals, not only are they the most effeminate, particularly the men, it's hard for me to respect and feel any sort of masculine testosterone aggression from a man with a septum ring and a hoop in his nose and a split lip. Like, there's so much wrong with that imagery, but I digress. But the reason why I say they're the most racist, look how comfortable and free he was willing to issue such a disgusting and dehumanizing threat. Do y'all remember when I told y'all that black liberals are just like their Democrat ancestors? They are just like the KKK. It's Jerome Crow, Jim Crow, and blackface. Yeah, this is that. This is the intimidation, the bullying tactics, the subjugation. I'm going to shame you, threaten your life because you stepped out of line. You attempted to do what was right. These people are evil. These people are wicked. I have never heard someone say, I hope that, first of all, the fact that he thinks it's conservatives that drive around in trucks hunting black people to lynch, sir, that's your Democrat pappy, your great grandpappy. Yes, the master who probably slept voluntarily with your great grandmammy. Yes, those were Democrats. Republicans didn't do that. It was Democrats that had the hatred in their heart. And if you didn't comply with whatever agenda it is that they believed should be of the day, they would hunt you down and string you up on a tree and delete you. I am sorry to paint such graphic imagery, but that's what this young man just did. He is now saying that Brandon Tatum, a black American male, for having the unmitigated gall to interview two of Nolan's friends to tell their story in a transparent and journalistic capacity, that he deserves to die. Do not tell me that these pro-wokety woke blackety black Negroes are not cultural Marxists, full of hatred in their heart of their father, the devil, and are the most racist demographic in this country. Where else do you hear such vile wickedness like that? Just splattered on the internet with no apologies, and he said it with his chest. Mind you, I can guarantee you he'd never say that to Officer Tatum in his face. Because look, B. Tatum would beat the brakes off a little buddy. I know this for a fact. Okay, like I said, little effeminate men with septum rings and nose rings and split lips don't strike me as having an overabundance of testosterone that can stand the test and stand up and defend themselves against Brandon Tatum. But the point I'm making here is he said that Harriet Tubman would shoot Brandon. Do you not realize that it was Harriet Tubman that was the brave and courageous one who, instead of submitting herself to the yoke and bondage of slavery, but asserted her freedom and not only fled and escaped and chose freedom, but she went back to get others? You, on the other hand, are the one stuck in the sunken place, wanting to be up next to your master, begging for crumbs from the master's table. Oh, please, master, give me just a little reparations. Please, master, I just need a little health care, just a little free child care. Can you please increase my EBT? Because I need you to provide for me, because I can't trust God and stand in my own freedom and function and go and serve God and my country. I don't know how to do that. I don't have any sort of point of reference for what it means to function in my freedom. So therefore, I'm a perpetual victim. You do understand that the chronic victim can never be trusted. This is why Ben Crump, chronic victim, can't be trusted. Willie D, who I'm going to do a separate video on, a chronic victim, can never be trusted. This man has been exposed for parroting misinformation on purpose. Also, he can do what I call narrative curation. Their job is to just curate a false narrative surrounding a topic that has to do with race. And I believe that he gets paid handsomely for it. He gets to get on the internet sounding as ignorant as they come, can barely speak and communicate. Somehow he's got over 1.1 million subscribers. I do not know. But this is the hateful rhetoric that's coming from the left, but they want you to believe that white supremacy is the problem. When is the last time that you heard white people openly being this racist, not just out on the internet digitally, but in person, saying these things to a black person without any repercussions? They will utterly destroy your reputation if you are a white person and you have the audacity to speak your mind. Just look at what's happening to Shiloh Hendricks. I'm not saying that she was right for calling the little black boy the N-word, but what I'm saying is the words hurt their feelings. So now we got to get the law to intervene because you are too emotionally immature to regulate yourself and not give a darn about what somebody thinks about you. But it's because white people are superior in your mind is why it hurts you so bad when they say something to hurt your feelings, because you are ethnically inferior, not by genetics, but based on your ideology. You take the subordinate position and you even acknowledge that white supremacy is real. I said all that to say, with this Nolan Wells situation, I told y'all these blacks are dishonest. They were not interested in the truth. If they were interested in the truth, one, the family would have never retained the services of Ben Crump. Al Sharpton would have been nowhere near this if this family, particularly the mama, was operating in transparency. And if she was really interested in the truth, I am now of the opinion that she knows this is a grift and now she's in on the grift, because now we know, like I said, I'm going to do it in a separate video, but this woman tried to imply, no, she actually said and implied that none of Nolan's friends' parents reached out to her. And that has been proven to be a lie. So what is my point? At the end of the day, two things. The chronic victim can never be trusted. And two, Ben Crump having his little grubby, ignorant paws all over this case demonstrates to you that they're not interested in the truth, but all they want is narrative curation, and they want to stoke racial tensions because he is being paid somehow, some way by the Democrat Party. And this is a part of their 2024 election interference strategy. You don't have to believe that. That is my opinion. But all of the roads lead to the political civil rights Democrat apparatus. Why? The NAACP is involved. That's your civil rights arm of the Iron Triangle. Your pulpit pimp black fake preacher, okay, who always has had the Democrat Party's money in his pocket, is the other arm of the Iron Triangle. And then the civil rights attorney here, the race baiting civil rights attorney, he's also one aspect of that Iron Triangle. The only thing we don't have is an elected official outside of Jasmine who has publicly made a statement about this. We can throw her in there too, but the Democrat Party's hands, their tentacles are all over this story. And it proves my point that the liberal left, the black liberal left, are the most racist demographic in this country because they're willing to boldly proclaim and ask for your head on a platter or your body strung up on a tree simply because you are in a pursuit of truth as opposed to going along with the socially accepted narrative that the Democrat civil rights apparatus is pushing. But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Do you believe that my assertion is now, there's more evidence coming out to prove what I've been saying is true? Democrats, black liberals are the most racist demographic in this country. Listen to what they say, listen to what they do, watch their actions, and they tell on themselves every time you put a microphone in their hand. But whatever it is that you guys think, leave me your thoughts and your comments down in the box below. And until next time, you guys, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and